John, Renee, Bays, Rakim, 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 John, Renee, Bays, Rakim.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Podcast of Color, where 4 trash bags of color come together to make some sense of this world. My name is John, and it's Aquarius season.
Yes, Tinashe.
What? It's Aquarius season. Be happy for me and my fellow Aquarii.
Oh, look at you, conjugating.
It's the season to...
Come through, Aquarii.
We're going to be as
Queer
fickle
eye
as
for the
ever.
Aquarii.
Indecisive as ever. And everything else they say about us.
What? Okay, well, I'm Rakim. I am... Is that shocking?
No, I was just talking.
Not
No, I was just thinking about
Rakim!
the Cunningham?
And my side?
the rookie.
That's my...
No, I was just thinking because I put something about cancers on my Instagram story yesterday, and then someone inboxed me and was like, "Okay, but what they say about Aquarians is that they give the best head."
Oh, okay, go on.
Well, hey, I
But
don't
I
got
was-
any complaints.
But yeah, talk your shit, Rakim of the Valley Cunningham.
Rakim of the House Cunningham. I'm Rakim, and I am Blue Ivy telling Beyonce and Jay-Z not to clap this week.
That was so good.
Y'all?
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
I
I'll go.
guess it's
My
turn
name
now.
is.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm Bays, and I'm back to being 100% 90% of the time.
Yay.
Okay, sorry. My name is Renee, and I think Giardia is worth it. I think you're
Who is
worth
that? Is that a food?
So, for those of you who don't know, Giardia is a bacteria that you can get from eating ass, and Renee just said it's worth it.
That sounds like
So,
something on the
'cause
menu
you're
at
worth
Olive
it.
Garden.
It's I mean, it's just a cute little infection where you have like a little stomach ache, sometimes diarrhea.
Well, this article
never
was saying
passes.
that like you have to like clear out your stomach and it'll fuck up all the bacteria and then start from scratch again for like months or something like that.
That sounds
Well,
great.
it
Like
depends
a
on how
Worth
severe
it. Worth it.
Worth it.
That sounds like you're gonna be snatched at the end of it. Like that's like a colon cleanse. I'm kind of.
Let's give it up for Giardia.
It's like, girl, you're looking so thin. It's like Giardia, girl. Like, try it.
Seek help,
It's-
all of you.
It's the new juice cleanse.
Oh no!
Well, in a way.
Did you know people really be using tapeworms?
Oh, that's true.
Mm.
So anyway,
Automatic.
sorry. So I was watching some Instagram stories, and like when you're going through your friend's Instagram story, and then they post a song, and you're just like, oh my god, that person's going through it right now, and like you hit them up, and you're just like, yes, like tell them. But so it inspired the question, which is like, what's your go-to breakup or heartbreak song?
That reminds me, Renee, of when you texted me last week and you were like, "Are
Oh
you
my
crying?"
God. Oh my
I was
god!
like, "No, bitch, I'm fine."
Okay. So Rakim posted a picture, and then can I say what you said?
Yeah.
Rakim posted a video of himself, and it said, when you come to the realization that you're gonna die alone," and then he had put a filter on it, and the filter was like spraying rays, and one of the rays looked like a single teardrop coming from his face. So I like contacted him. I was like, Rakim, what the fuck is going on? Are
He
you
texted
okay?
me, he was like, "Bitch, you're going through it. What's happening?" I was like, "What are you talking about?"
And my friend one of my friends had just posted Sky Ferreira's "You're Not the One," that song. So I was just like, oh my god, everyone's going through it right now. So like that's why, yeah. But she wasn't going through it. Anyways, what's your heartbreak song, everyone? John?
I've never experienced heartbreak, so I don't have a song.
Must be nice.
Wow. Okay.
Unlike y'all, I'm in a stable relationship.
John, you want to go first?
Mine's easy because mine is tattooed on my arm.
Oh.
Born this way?
Yeah.
Born this
Every
What do you say?
every time I get out of a relationship, I'm just like, wow, I'm just born this way. I'm so complicated.
Oh.
No, I have I have the lyrics from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. They have a song called Maps, and the lyrics say, "Wait, they don't love you like I love you."
Oh my god!
And it was yeah, and actually Beyonce she credited Karen O in her song
Hold Up.
Hold Up, yeah. But she says hold up, they don't love you like I love you instead of wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, this song and like it's been like what, since like God, this song is so old.
It's from 2002?
No, I forgot what year, but I remember I was in like high school when it came out.
Yeah, it was
and
like
it's still
2002.
like yeah, and it was still my go-to song every time, and it was like my favorite song, a Guitar Hero, back when that was a thing.
Oh my god!
I don't know, and it's an iconic guitar riff intro, an iconic drum intro, and then Karen O. And then if you guys watch the music video, like the background to so Karen O was dating this guy his name was Angus, and MAP stands for My Angus Please Stay. I know, it's just some white guy. I don't know why his name was Angus. Like a steak. Anyway, so in the video, it's like taken, I don't know if it's one cut, but she's basically it's a live recording, and he was supposed to show up to the recording, and they pan to the seat where he was supposed to be, and he never shows up, and she just like starts crying, but she keeps on going anyway. But yeah, I don't know. That's
sad.
I
So
know.
emo.
And it's like, I don't know, I always tell myself that I like, after a relationship, like I love this person a lot, and that like they don't love you like I love you, but then I kind of like decentered that person, and I kind of flipped that song for myself. Like I shouldn't give up on myself, and I should love myself more than anyone else can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, that's inspiring, John.
Gay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
What about you guys?
well, since yours was track 2 of Lemonade, mine is track 3, which the album you did not pay for.
I knew that was coming.
And
I knew immediately.
it's the iconic song, Don't Hurt Yourself. Because when you play me, you play yourself. Try not to hurt yourself. Like, ooh, like, oh, let me just stop. I'm not even like mad or like hate men right now. And that song just makes me want to break someone's fucking neck. Like, it's just,
Oh my god.
can you imagine?
So you're like
Mhm.
the angry like this is like the angry stage of the breakup?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm an
of the
Aries, so
relationship?
that's like when I wake up in the morning and like it's cold
I
outside.
see.
Like, so, but it's just such a great, like, can you imagine being in the studio when that greatness was being recorded? Like, can you imagine being the sound engineer when Beyonce was thinking of Jay-Z and telling him she's gonna bounce her ass to the next, like, a moment. It just summarizes. Like, I remember, actually, most times when I listen to Lemonade, I just stop at Sorry. Like, because why? Like, why listen to anything else?
Right?
Like, the anger's it.
Right?
That's a good
Like,
one.
forgiveness. No, I'm leaving. What the fuck?
I can't. I've listened to All Night Long maybe like once, and that's it. Like I can't do it.
Like, no, like,
Oh, but that's a nice one. It's like that is the acceptance stage.
but we
Of deep
don't we
argument.
don't do that though.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Anyway, Renee, what's yours?
Mine is Single Again by Trina.
Yeah.
Come in the room.
And well, I have like 5 of them. I'll name just 3. Single Again by Trina. How to Love by Lil Wayne. And also
How to
also- and also fucking what's my favorite angry white girl?
Bjork?
Fiona
Karen
Apple.
Newsom?
Close.
Fiona Apple. That was she was
Thank
next.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. Her name she has a song called Sleep to Dream, which is like super angry, and she's like in the video she's just like looking at the screen and like just like
Wait, what's it called?
Sleep to Dream.
Oh, Sleep to Dream.
And
That sounds depressing.
it's just really angry. There's a line, what did she say? She said, this mind, this body, and this voice could not be stifled by your deviant ways. So don't forget what I told you. Don't come around. I got my own hell to raise. And then she's looking like straight at the screen and like yelling at it. And then she's later said that her ex actually saw it and like was in the middle of a hookup and then saw her like yelling at the screen and then like had to stop and like get up and leave.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so
that's creepy.
It's pretty. No, it's a pretty intense song. But yeah, I think that's like one of my favorites.
Honorable mention is "Bust Your Windows" by Jasmine Sullivan.
God, you guys have angry ones.
Yeah, girl, because it's when you're going through. Like, what do you mean?
I have a really, I have like a really nice one too, but I'm like angry right now, so I don't want to say the nice one. Okay, I'll say the nice one.
I'm gonna
the nice one.
I'm gonna say my nice ones.
Okay, like what do you want us to listen to? Like "Into You" by Ariana Grande? No, bitch, I'm gonna smash your shit. Like,
no, I do like my. Have y'all listened to the "Across the Universe" covered by Fiona Apple?
I'm surprised you watched that movie, but no.
No.
Wait. Oh, the song. Oh,
the song. The song. Well, anyways, there's a song where she's basically like talking about like all this fucked up shit that's happening, and like the chorus is just basically like nothing's gonna change my world. Like I'll be fine. Like it's fine. Like it's all good. But I didn't want to say that one, but I said it.
Me and my baby, we gonna be all right.
Oh.
One of my honorable mention. My next one is
we have feelings.
Like I said,
we have feelings about this question of color.
So like I feel like breakups are like death, and so there's always like the 5 stages of death. There's like the depression, anger, what is it? The bargaining, and then acceptance. So like when I get to the acceptance stage, when I'm feeling okay again, and I've only achieved this with like 2 or 3 exes, and I like to listen to Gwen Stefani's "Cool."
Oh, that one is nice.
And like it's like the video is like really kind of triggering because like fuck, that's such a hard level to achieve. I don't even know if she's genuinely believing herself in that song.
Because even in the video, she's still looking at him like, "Oh my god, I still have a thing for you."
She still looks at him like lovingly and shit. But like I've achieved that with like a few of my exes, and we're friends, and I'm like, and I'm friends with their new partner, and like I'm happy for them, and like I would ideally like to get to that stage with folks, but I know that's not everybody has that experience, and not everybody should.
Yeah.
And I'm self-aware of that myself. Like maybe I shouldn't be friends with this person because I know myself.
Right. But
if I can, I do like that song.
Yeah. That's nice.
Mine is definitely "Killing You Hoes" by Trina. Yep. The baddest bitch is back. Sorry. I know we gotta move on, but "Killing You Hoes." You see the outfit, bitch? Sorry. I got the best pussy at. And there ain't no you can do about it. "Killing you hoes." Sorry.
Okay, we should probably move on to the
next
section.
Trash, 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 trash.
Hello. This is Podcast of Color, my guy.
To Podcast of Club, my man,
Color,
my guy.
B. My guy, B.
Dead ass though.
So we over here. We got some minutes of color. We got some topics for y'all. Let's do this.
Oh, that ass.
Let's do this. Like, let's get it. That was my interpretation of trade. Thank you.
By the way, I don't appreciate you saying that I'm trade because I voted that same video.
Okay, Miss Trade, don't try to play like you wasn't trying to give us trade in that picture, in that story.
I was giving you trade, but I was giving you hand performance at the same time.
Okay, at the end, bitch, you try to trick us. You gave us trade, and then you
trade passing.
Trade passing.
Trick or trade.
Trade for trade.
Trade adjacent.
Trade passing. Yes, I love it. I'm
a trade gentrifier.
All of it.
Ew.
Appropriating trade culture.
Trade gentrifier. Yes. Gentrify trade culture, bitch. So, hello. How are you all? Is everyone doing alright? Are we ready to get in these topics? Alright, then let's do it. So, I mean, of course, we can't just get into this without talking about the Grammys. So, like, I didn't watch it, but what did y'all think of it?
Who actually? Am I the only one who watched them?
Probably.
I've just seen clips from the internet.
Yeah, same.
Did y'all?
pictures of beautiful gowns.
I saw some clips. So I
Did
mean,
you
the
see
only
who won?
I saw Beyonce and Jay-Z and Little Blue Ivy, and I saw Kendrick's performance.
I mean, that's kind of the performance that you really needed to see. Did you guys hear who won stuff and all that?
I did, and I saw
White
how
people
mad everybody
and
was,
men.
and I just was like, "But girls, I thought y'all weren't gonna watch after Beyonce lost last year. So what you mad about? You like being mad, huh?"
How do we?
I'm not attacking the listeners.
No, I'm just saying you like
know.
you know what the Grammys is.
Yeah.
We learned a very valuable lesson last year and the years before then, and y'all still be mad every year.
So many years before that.
Yeah,
Well-
so many years before that. Why y'all still be mad every year? Just
Well, I'm still going to be mad anyway. So,
I'm serene.
well, not even mad. I'm not. There's a few things. I'm actually mad about the white people categories with like not the people of color ones. Like, okay, the one thing that really pissed me off out of everything is SZA had 9 nominations and lost all 9. She didn't get not one. Like, how? She lost Best New Artist to Alicia Cara, who's not a new artist. Like, I swear she was out in 2014 or when I was in high school. Like, she's not new. She lost Best Urban Contemporary Album to Starboy, which is not a bad album, but like, what? She lost R&B song to Bruno Mars twice, or R&B performance and R&B song. And it's like, I don't get it. Like,
It's Islamophobia.
What?
Quad?
Lanaphobia?
I said Islamophobia.
Don't. I'm gonna pretend you
Because
said
she's
Lanaphobia.
Muslim.
Oh,
I didn't even know that.
Like,
Didn't
you're
know
just
that.
like, girl, what?
Oh.
Like, you have to use the word that applies. And we were like, what?
I was like, girl, are you just throwing out identities?
No, it was like
It's homophobia.
I mean, it is homophobia too.
It's xenophobia. That's what I like.
I thought you were mentioning because Lana lost, and I thought you were saying Lanaphobia, and I was like,
Oh,
true.
no.
Who said
Still
anything about
talking
Lana?
SZA.
She did not deserve anything. Did she get nominated for something?
She was nominated
She
for Best
did.
Pop Vocal Album, but you guess who got that award?
Who,
Ed
Bruno?
Sheeran.
Ed
Marriage.
fucking Sheeran.
Oh. She didn't deserve that though. Like, let's be real. That last album was good. It was entertaining. It was not her best.
Kesha deserved. That's all that mattered. And so
I
I'll
thought
just
SZA deserved.
I'll go over the winners really quick of the major categories, and you guys let me know what you think. Okay. Album of the year went to Bruno Mars, 24 Karat Magic,
Boo.
Against.
against
People
Kendrick.
are really into that
against-
album.
Against Kendrick Lamar,
Why people love
Lord,
him?
Jay-Z. Let me actually just look. It was Kendrick Lamar, Lord, Jay-Z,
Yes, come through.
and Childish
Kendrick
Gambino.
should've-
So what'd you think, Renee?
I think Kendrick should have gotten that, but
I think either Kendrick or Lord. Honestly,
Or
Melancholy
Lord,
was
yeah.
that.
I was going to
fucking
say
album.
Lord too.
And
I thought-
I wanted
Go
her
ahead.
to win. Honestly, like I really want her to win over all the black men. I was like, give it to the white girl. You better give it
Right.
to that goddamn white girl.
I was literally like, straight black men are trash. Give it to.
She's
I still to this day listen to Damn though. Like
No, me too.
Lord,
I
mean, I
think
do
Lord
too,
was
but
a
I
really
also
good
listen to
album, but I
Melodrama.
stopped listening to it like a month after it came out.
Melodrama.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, no,
It's
Renee,
because
I
you got
agree with you.
happy.
I wanted Damn to win too, but what I think happened is 444 and Damn split the vote, and I think Bruno Mars came in and like swooped up and snatched it. Like, so I think half
And
the
like
people,
the old folks love Bruno Mars.
yeah,
White
like,
people in general
Bruno.
love
White people love Bruno Mars.
They
yeah.
love Bruno Mars, and I
It's
just
easy to swallow. Hey.
But I don't. Oh my god! But the thing is, his
Did you
album's
just
not
react
bad.
to your own joke?
I did.
hey, go off, sis. Yes,
Go me.
Come through, John. Yes, yes, me.
Wait, no, but even
No, yes,
like
me.
younger folks are really into Bruno Mars though. Like
Even
I know
what?
like a lot of people might like Azealia Banks, that was her #1 album last year. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
What? What are you talking about?
Okay,
You know
so
when you know
Song
when you
of the
post
Year.
like your #1 albums like of like you listen to on Spotify or whatever, like
Mhm.
that was the like her #1 album that she had listened to like the most in the
24
past year.
Karat.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say only white people liked him. I just said white people love Bruno Mars.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, that it's interesting that like a lot of people were into it because it didn't do a lot for me. So I just thought it was interesting.
Somebody, so they're like that sparked like a whole debate versus like, oh, like is he black? Is he appropriating black culture? And like, is Jay-Z? And like, I'm not gonna like give none of that because like honestly, like he looks black to me, and whatever he identifies as, I just think of him as being of the diaspora, of the Negroid diaspora.
Okay, diaspora.
Yes, come through Negroid diaspora.
I'll take diaspora for 100, please.
That aspera.
That aspera. Oh Lord Jesus, fix it. And so I'm not gonna get. I mean, yes, maybe he doesn't identify as black, and like that's whatever. I don't really care about any of that. I feel that somebody pointed out that he takes like old R&B and like rap music, and then he like depoliticizes it and makes it like this fun, like palatable music. And I think I don't know if that's what I don't like about it, but like that really hit like the nail on the head for on something for me. Like I don't know. I feel like I've always felt like there's just something missing for me when it comes to Bruno Mars. Like he's super talented. He's cute. He can dance. Like there's no reason.
There's something so sanitized about him. I feel like.
Yeah, I was like, I should feel like I should love him because he ticks all the boxes. But at the same time, like I just feel like I'm watching like a child performing at a talent show. I never feel like I'm listening. I never feel like I'm watching an artist on like a world stage. I feel like I'm watching somebody performing. Huh? I feel like I'm watching the Mickey Mouse Club.
I mean,
it's Kids Bop.
Yeah,
but it's good.
Oh my god! Don't come for Kids Bop though.
No, I didn't say it was bad.
Don't come for Carly Rae Jepsen like that.
There's nothing specifically wrong with Bruno Mars, but there's just that thing that it just is not clicking for me, and I can't get into the vast majority of his music for that reason.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was mentioning like how like I see like a lot of people really into it, and I don't get it. Like I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for people that are into it, but I'm just like it does nothing.
You guys not liking him is anti-Asian?
Oh,
John,
he's 25%
okay,
Filipino.
But he's not just Asian. He's black too, bitch. If you really want to go there.
John doesn't know his isms today, so let's just ignore.
No, that's why Filipinos love him though, because he's like proud to be Filipino, like 25% of the time.
Oh, I'm not having conversations.
I'll take Cassie over.
Oh, 50% of Cassie is happy about it too.
I'm not having. Oh my god!
Are we choosing Asians? Are we like choosing which Filipinos we like more? Ooh, okay, this is getting real problematic. Yikes! I'm
not doing conversations about whether he's like the blackness or whatever because it's like this.
I don't feel
it's exhausting because it's like no one is doing the music that he's doing. Bruno Mars constantly gives credit to black music and black musicians.
I agree.
He literally said it during the state, he told the Grammys to shut the fuck up so he could give like credit where credit is due. He doesn't do like just because he's apolitical doesn't mean that he's not good. Like the album was good. I just thought Damn was better. But I understand like why he won. Am I mad that he won? No. I was jamming to Chunky this morning and I almost broke my damn neck in the shower. But it's like
I said, I don't have any particular complaints about his music. It just doesn't click for me. And I'm not saying that nobody who can enjoy it or anybody who enjoys it, there's something wrong with them. It's just for me, it doesn't do anything.
No, I that's valid. I get that. Like I will say
it has nothing to do with his blackness or not. I just don't like his music.
Oh, nice.
So what about Rihanna's performance? Did y'all see Rihanna's performance?
Yes.
I didn't.
She looked
amazing.
To
watch it in between our break, but in our break
we were standing at my house. Like my mom was like,
amazing.
"Go off, Riri!"
Like, your mom is so fun to watch the Grammys with. By the way, she's so cute.
Oh my god! I totally forgot y'all did that last time. No, she was.
Did you guys, or was I there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were there, Base.
That was like a year ago, girl.
We've definitely watched it at one point. But no, like we were going on. Rihanna looks so good. Like whatever her diet is, I want it. Like Rihanna looks.
I
love
thick and succulent. Ugh.
Yes,
I wanted to suck on her titty, and I'm not even straight.
Oh, okay.
I was like, go off, Miss Riri, Miss Robin Fenty, Miss Fenty Beauty.
Listen, the Pro Filter Beauty Foundation has her looking so fucking good. Like, I kind of want to suck her titty too, babes. Maybe we can eat out.
Wow. This is getting a little...
She just is looking right. I was like, God damn. Between Rihanna and Thick Onsei, I'm just like, I can't.
Right. Like Thick Onsei and Thick Anna. All this body, yaddy yaddy. Just rest them titties on my face. Like, I just... Not even in a sexual way. Just, I don't know. I just want to experience
I don't know. My sexuality is becoming Rihanna, to be honest with you.
Truly.
I was like, wait a minute.
From gay to Rihanna.
Well, I will say I was confused about the red carpet because they were doing like that slow-mo cam.
What?
They were doing that slow-mo cam thing. And
I
they were talking about Rita Ora. And I was like, who? I was like,
she looked good. I mean, I'm not a stan. I don't like anything that is related to her, really. And I can't name a song of hers. The most notable thing I can think of is that song she did with Iggy. That IGGY.
I can't tell you what that is. I don't know.
I don't think that was her.
That was her.
It.
She did a song with her.
She did.
But,
just kidding.
But she looked good. When she looks good, she looks good because she usually looks a mess, and so I have to give it to her when she actually looks good for once.
It's not looking good. That's the problem for her. It's like doing things. That's the issue.
No, definitely, of course.
Rita Ora always
like, the
looks
only thing,
good, but it's like, what do you do?
The only thing that I really know her for
quickly
is is posting on Instagram with her and her after Lemonade dropped, her in her Lemonade bathing suit and like that necklace that looked like an L. That started the rumors that she was Becky with the good hair.
She would. She's white.
I don't think she... Oh, well, I guess it would make sense because she has portrayed herself to be racially ambiguous even though she's a Caucasian.
Like, she's white as hell, so...
What? Oh my gosh, she is?
Yeah, she gets
tan. Rita Ora
is
white.
Full European. She's a full-blown European.
100% Caucasian.
Oh my god. I'm looking
wow. The trickery.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I have to go listen to her music to see if she said nigga in songs because she's like J-Lo and snuck it in that one time and then and everyone was like, okay.
Oh my god, she's Yugoslavian.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Renee is shaking.
He did not expect that. He was like, Yuka who?
She's, Turkish, Albanian, Yugoslavian. Oh. Her 23andMe is going off right now.
The sorcery of it all.
Like she called Ancestry.com and she was like, burn the results. She said she has them signed an NDA. I don't want no one to know.
You know what? Yeah, she like modeled. It seemed like she modeled herself after Rihanna. Like she got like the perm, so she could have like the curly, like almost like heat damaged hair, like to make her look like she was black. And then she got like super tan and I can't prove that she got a nose job, but I think she widened her nose. That's just my theory.
And
you didn't hear
Rita Ora's like, I do in fact like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils.
She's like, I paid good money for these Jackson 5 nostrils.
But yeah, I think the only other thing that's important to talk about with the Grammys is Kesha's performance. And I will say Kesha looked really good. The performance looked really good. The audio, however, I'm going to say that she was emotional because, yeah, there were some struggle vocals, but I mean,
she had reason to be emotional, no?
Yeah, I mean, when you listen to it, you'll understand. It's
okay.
Yeah, it was more than emotion. It was like, you didn't do your vocal warm up beforehand, but she looked a little bit out of it, but you know what? It's okay. I'm going to let her have it because it was a very meaningful performance. And I thought it was amazing for what she was doing. And I found it really interesting, though, that like they kept saying like, oh, Kesha's like groundbreaking performance. But then like they didn't give her anything. And I feel like the music industry hasn't gone through like the reckoning that the acting industry has in terms of Time's Up. And like it's just kind of gross to me how so many people believe Dr. Luke. But then they didn't want to believe Kesha, but now they're acting like, oh, yeah, Time's Up and shit. And I'm just like, I guess. Like,
right. Didn't Sony like retweet or like tweet at Kesha and was like congratulating them?
They deleted it, though.
They deleted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they were... because what I was hearing, I honestly don't know the details, but y'all might, but like that they were somewhat complicit in the whole thing with Dr. Luke.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how because it's been a while since I read about it, but yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Gumby went to the Grammys?
Oh, so stupid.
Bye.
I hate you so much.
Is that real? Oh my god, I remember Gumby from when I was little. That was so cute. Did he really go to that?
No,
You
it
guys
was.
see that Gumby was robbed for the Grammys?
You're
What are you talking about? What is this in relation to?
Sam Smith.
Oh, they call him Gumby. So actually, a friend, I don't know if I can say like their name on here, but a friend's friend was in the choir, and we were like having a good cackle last night because it happened. They were like, "Oh yeah, my friend's downtown at the Grammys right now, like performing in his all black choir." And somebody on Twitter was like, Sam Smith performs in front of black choir so often, you might as well call him Shirley Chisholm. Or no, Shirley Caesar. Stop the devil! Stop the devil!
Sorry.
Covered in the blood of Christ. Sando halala sharabara da 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 sharabara.
Oh la 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 la.
Wow, where's your guys' Grammy?
You know, I'm saying though, like if all these other people, if Taylor Swift can get one for, well, I guess 1989 was actually good. Never mind.
1989.
Wait, SoundCloud can actually get Grammys now, right?
If Daft Punk can get one, I can get one.
Cool. Let's send this episode in just that one section in.
Hell no.
Let's see
I'm not dealing with people in the parking lot of Food for Less talking about listening to my mixtape so I can get a Grammy. Hell no. Don't talk to me. Trash. Go away.
Oh my god, we should do a song about a parking lot, and it can be like inspired.
We can call it Aryan Bop,
and we should just all sing in the parking lot, and then the video could be us in the parking lot. And just like sickening outfits.
That's how we do
we're
our
just
podcast
like
anyway.
We're just like in like a Food for Less.
That same parking lot where Beyonce filmed.
No, that they demolished that. So we got to be
not
like
there anymore.
We got to be on like a Food for Less parking lot, and we're just wearing like sickening ass looks.
That was a national
monument. Babe, we should actually submit our podcast intro for a Grammy.
No, don't.
Yes. Let's hit up
the foreskin one
first. Let's make sure that she's given us her okay.
The clearance.
Fear Not the Moment.
Shout out to Fear Not the Moment for our sickening ass intro.
Yeah.
We'll submit it for songs for visual media or audio media.
And then slay the game. And
we're coming for that Grammy of color, bitch.
We could do I'm telling you, we can do a video in the Food for Less parking lot, and then we can submit that too. And it's gonna be inspired by The Weeknd. By SZA, directed by Solange, and we're just gonna be in some like intricate like ass like geometric outfits, and we're just gonna be, and we might have some wigs, you know,
and we're each gonna be standing.
Your life.
I see it. We're each gonna be standing on a different color, and we're each gonna be wearing a different shape. I'm getting Wiggles. I'm getting Teletubbies.
Yes,
I'm
Teletubbies.
like
come through Teletubbies.
I'm getting Lucky Charms. I'm getting Walla 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 World. Like I'm getting all of that. And then we'll do like interpretive dance in the parking lot of Food for Less. And
maybe one of us can do like the Louisiana bounce.
I'm here for that. We can do the Bankhead bounce. Renee could do the Crip Walk. I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I feel like Renee can Crip Walk.
You know she loves mask dancing anyway, so it'll fit right in with her brand.
Not mask dancing.
Yes, mask dancing.
I know Renee can Crip Walk. I know you can see walk.
I'm sure he can. If he can't, I will eat my hat, and I'm not even wearing a hat.
Same.
Right now.
I know that he can do it.
Hey, yo.
I know I'm picturing it. I'm seeing Renee
like I can
right
see
now.
it with the gun.
And his Doc Martens and his shorts, his cut off black shorts. And he's wearing that vest.
My OnlyFans. If you go to his OnlyFans, it's him crip walking.
Crip walking naked. if you guys want to see Renee crip walking naked, support his OnlyFans.
No, Renee's OnlyFans
with his Doc Marten boots.
Renee's OnlyFans would literally be him stealing CDs of Bjork out of Walmart and being like, "Fuck capitalism."
ASMR fuck capitalism speeches, anti-capitalist speeches.
Oh man!
Did you just send the crip walk to Joanna?
So anyway. To Alanis Morissette.
No, not. Oh my god!
Yeah.
You know those memes where it's like you hand your friend the aux cord because he's like, this album is fire, and it's just like him playing Joanna Newsom from like a long time ago.
Wait, you hand Renee the aux cord and it's gonna be like,
the gate.
It's like, oh.
It's just like forest noises.
Renee, if Renee ever
Bjork?
gets married, he's gonna
Bjork?
walk down the aisle to that to Bjork, some Bjork.
He's gonna
Bjork
crip down, walk down
Never.
the aisle.
No, he's not gonna crip. He's gonna like it's gonna be like some performance art, like some stilted like walking, but like no. Have you seen that video with those weird ass people in that dancing class and they're like kind of like Harlem shaking a little bit? Those white people and they're all in turtlenecks and different color turtlenecks.
Oh my god.
He's gonna do that down the aisle.
I feel like Renee's gonna walk down the aisle to fuck with myself by Banks. I can just see it. Like
That's true, and just getting married to myself.
Right, like,
just
Renee's
having
myself
at the
in
end
His
of the
fuck
aisle.
relationship. No, he's gonna get married to his friends.
That's true. It's just gonna be Sean and Raina at the end.
Renee's vows are gonna be like, even though I'm getting married to you, I fuck with myself more than anybody else.
This is about us valuing our relationship with each other over our relationships with romantic partners.
Because the
And
best
I'm vowing
relationship
to
that
do
you
this
have
for
is the
life.
one with yourself.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord
I hate
Jesus,
y'all.
we love you, Renee girl. We love you so much. But so the Grammys apparently went down by almost 10 million. The viewership went down by almost 10 million. I believe last year was 26 point something, and this year it was like 19.
Well, it's funny because we were all fucking in Rakeem's living room watching last year, and like this year, like we're all like, "Wait, did you watch it?" Because I didn't. Like,
Because I vowed I would not watch another Grammy after Beyonce fiasco. I was like, there's everybody, even the winner of the Grammy was like, Beyonce should have got this. I knew after that the Grammys was not about awarding talent. Beyonce's was it wasn't about
okay, but
awarding,
if
it wasn't
Beyonce
about
would have
awarding
performed this year,
it wasn't
though.
about awarding creativity. It wasn't about awarding reach and impact. I was like, what is this about? And so I'm just like, I'm not gonna pay attention to this anymore because it's not about shit. Prince never won a Grammy.
What?
That is why.
Wow.
Canceled the Grammys.
He didn't get a tribute either. What the fuck?
Yeah,
And
so-
David Bowie did though.
Ooh.
Look, David Bowie was actually really talented. Like, say what you will about him, but he was actually a very talented.
So it's Prince, bitch. The fuck?
No, I know. I'm just saying that's not a good. Like, if you don't use somebody, use like a really bad, horrible, like,
Queen of music.
huh?
Prince was the queen of music.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna use a white person, use like a white person who sucks.
Ed
Ed
Sheeran.
Yes, there you go. Boom, boom. That's all you needed to do. So, yeah, was there any other Grammy related? Oh, what am I talking about? Why am I like moving on like that wasn't like there wasn't some more shit? So apparently, women were not really represented in the winners this year. Like,
And
women
then
were there was a lot of women that were nominated. A lot of women did not actually win. Ed Sheeran won in a category that was, I think he was the only man in the category, and he won. What?
What? The true colors of Renee comes out.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
No, nothing. Go ahead. Sorry. No, it was just funny. It was like
Yeah, he won
It was
over.
a section with all men, and he still had the nerve to win.
Oh yeah, you bitch.
I was like, we're like, okay.
You ginger bitch.
Whoa.
Oh girl, who cares? Like, look, I'm black. Try that.
Well,
Yeah, he won over Kelly Clarkson, Kesha, Lady Gaga, and Pink.
Kelly
And-
Clarkson deserved, and so did Kesha.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Look. But
Are you
anyways.
going to say that it's all white people still? I mean, that's true too.
No.
Oh,
well,
okay.
yeah.
That's what
But
that's
yeah. No. Go. But go ahead. Go.
Yeah. And then homeboy that like runs the thing was like, women just need to step it up. That's what his response was.
What?
Yeah. What's his name? What's this nigga's name? Let me look at it right now.
I don't know. I was hoping he was talking about the Disney movie Step It Up, but then he wasn't. I was just like, what a classic.
I was hoping he was talking about Channing Tatum Step Up.
Right. Like, that's how I learned. See, Step
co-starring
Up,
Jenna
like
Dewan.
with the
Or
cheerleading
step
movie.
up to the streets.
The streets.
The Screeks.
The streets.
And I'm also
Discreet.
reading, yeah, like, this article on Jezebel, and it's called "Should Women Step Up at the Grammys or Just Step Away?" And it just talks about how like a lot of artists like Drake and like Frank Ocean are just kind of, and Justin Bieber even like kind of see it as irrelevant, and a lot of people are like kind of turning away from the Grammys. A lot of artists, and it's just basically asking, should women just move on from the Grammys because it's kind of irrelevant at this point. But it's not totally irrelevant because I found out after this that many people didn't know who SZA was until after the Grammys. Which is so crazy to me. Because I feel like she was everywhere.
Yeah, that's weird.
But maybe she was just geared toward people like our age or our demographic, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want white people to know about SZA, to be honest.
Because I didn't know who the best new artist was. I didn't know who that was.
Alicia Cara,
I had no idea. I usually don't know who the best new. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
like
I never do, and I didn't know who she was either.
Like that year Esperanza Spalding one, and everyone was like, who?
Oh, I forgot
knew
about her.
I knew who she was, but like this
who
person, I don't know who that is.
She's on pop radio.
His name is Portnow. Portnow.
Who is that?
And he's the Academy CEO. He's the one who was like, if women want to win, they need to step up, basically.
That is so stupid. I think that's so stupid.
Trash.
Which is like dumb because like, how do you have a year where like Melodrama and like Bartier Cardi and like Bodak Yellow, like women this wasn't the best year musically. It wasn't my favorite year musically, but like women did step up as much as the men did.
I don't think anyone named Port should say anything.
Okay. I mean, we did get a verse. We did get Motorsport with Cardi and Nicki on it. They stepped up. Although it was, beyond the deadline, but you're right. Yeah.
Anyway, and Bartier Cardi just come out like in December, so. Yeah.
But it's also like, why wasn't Cardi B actually performing her own song? Like
that was my thing. That's what I wanted to mention. I was so upset that was how she performed, was just as Bruno Mars. Like I would rather have just not had to see Bruno Mars on the stage and just got to see Cardi B. Like I would have loved to. Like the audience would have been hype.
Can you imagine her doing Bodak Yellow?
Bodak Yellow. Like, that was such a missed opportunity.
Come on, new word.
Can I tell you guys something?
What?
No.
So, my cousin's a Baze, you remember my cousin from New York? And then we went to go see him play at the Crown? Mm-hmm. Went to Rooftop. So he came out here for the weekend and he DJ'd. And they told him he couldn't play Bodak Yellow because it gets the crowd too hype. And they don't want to get the environment too hype.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Go off, Miss B.
Because, like, I guess some bars will tell you what songs you can't play.
B.
Didn't he play?
B, but don't go Offset, girl.
No, he played Bartier Cartier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard, I saw it, and I was like, I was lit, shit, bitch. I was moshing all around my goddamn room.
Oh my god, I want to have a mosh pit with you, Baze, before I die to Bodak Yellow. That has to happen.
Oh, bitch, we need to start doing hip hop moshing.
Could you imagine? Hell no, because I don't want to get fucking
shanked. Niggas bitch. Would be starting bringing guns and knives.
Hell no. No.
It would be a death.
No. Talking like
I really can't. I can do moshing by myself. I can't do moshing in no crowds because you push me, bitch, and it's over. I don't have any qualms about knocking you the fuck out.
I hope the government wasn't recording me through my laptop camera when I would mosh to Misery Business in high school because, bitch, like when Paramore came out with that and like all their other shit, I used to mosh the fuck out. You couldn't tell me shit. Also, Paramore wasn't nominated. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. What the fuck?
Oh, shit.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? That album, changed lives, bitch. What you doing? Anyway, I can't even be mad because I didn't watch it, and it's good.
You know what Paramore has that the Grammys don't? Impact. Trash. Exactly. They can fucking choke.
To move it right along.
30 minutes into the segment.
I know. Let's shout out. Well, we knew the Grammys was going to take a minute. Let's shout out our white accomplice, Miss Jessica Chastain. So she approached Octavia Butler about doing a holiday movie.
Who?
Octavia who?
Who?
Oh, sorry, not Octavia Butler. Octavia Spitzer. I'm sorry. I was just talking about Octavia Butler last night. I stan Octavia Butler. Y'all need to read Kindred. Go out.
So y'all need to read.
But anyway,
that's a literate host.
Yeah, Octavia. She approached Octavia Spencer about doing a holiday comedy with her, and found out that there was quite a bit of a gap between their payments. So she found out through Olivia. Lord Jesus, what am I doing? Found out from Octavia, and Octavia broke it down for her and was like, "Homegirl, I'm not making as much as you did, so let's get it together." And so they got, basically, long story short, they got it together, and she's now making 5 times more than what she was going to initially make.
Yes.
Wow.
And when she was like, she's talking about it in like a panel, right? And she like starts crying when she talks about how like she helped her out.
Yeah.
And that's so I've seen like Jessica Chastain speak at a lot of panels, and I've seen her like always talk about like the representation of women and like what women are earning or whatever. And I never saw her say, but also like women of color.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never, and it always bugged me that she was so kind of really intense with it, but like never ever happened to also say like, oh, like, but also this. Like it was just like another, for me, like, oh my God, another fucking Hollywood star that like has no like sense of intersectionality, whatever. So when I saw this, like I was like, okay, wait, like somebody talked to her and she like gets it now, because she said that apparently she said to her, she's like, I had no idea that it was this hard for women of color in the film.
Yeah,
so like, she gets it. Like at least she gets it, and she's like, you know,
Octavia Butler. Why do I keep wanting to say Octavia Butler? Octavia Spencer said, and I quote, "So if we're gonna have that conversation about pay equity, we got to bring the women of color to the table." And so they started talking about numbers, and she just had no idea. Like, yeah, like you said, she had no idea that was like where women of color were coming from, because like even like Taraji P. Henson talked about like how little she made on Benjamin Button, and like comparative to Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. And so like, you know, I like that. I like action. I love action. And that's what we're getting. This is what we want. We want action. I always say I want action, and she's showing us that she's about that action. She's not just saying shit. So I love it, and good on her, and also good on Octavia Spencer for speaking up and talking her shit, because
Jessica Chastain.
Her new name, Jessica. I now pronounce you Jessica Chastain, and you like knight her. What would you knight her with? A flea bottle?
No.
Oh my God.
What would you knight her with?
She's white, so you would knight her with like a hanger from Lululemon, and you would just be like,
"Oh my!"
I now dub Jessica Ally
Chastain.
Wow.
Lord
Lululemon.
Jesus. Lord Jesus.
I'm fucking mad.
Lord Jesus.
Lord, our Savior.
So, somebody actually sent us an article about the Christian Rights New Strategy, which is to divide it's called the Christian Rights New Strategy. This article by Jeff Taylor on LGBTQ Nation. It's titled "The Christian Rights New Strategy: Divide and Conquer the LGBT Community." And just to give you a sort of summary of the article, it talks about how a lot of right-wingers are now focusing on trans people, because they know that if they separate them from the LGBT part of the community, people are more likely to throw them away. So it'll be easier. A lot of, because everybody, marginalized people love to be like, well, I'm this, but I'm not that. And a lot of like lesbians and gays and bisexuals are very quick to be like, yeah, like we're gay, but we're not trans. We're not like that. We're not going that far. And we know that for a lot of people that, transness is still something that is considered a step too far for people. Some people are like, oh, I'm fine with the gays, but, you're born who you're born as. And that's just what it is. And, it basically, the gist of it is that we have to stick up for our trans folks, because, it won't, like, they'll come for us next. Like, I know you think that you're like throwing something to the wolves, but the wolves are coming for you next if you do that. What were you gonna say, Renee?
Oh, there's a section in the article where they're basically trying to give people like tactics to divide and conquer. Yeah. And one of the tactics was trying to invalidate transness by saying like that it's like anti-feminist, that like you want to like package it in a feminist way to say like, oh, they're actually trying to like move into these women's spaces when they're not actually women or something like that, which is like, well, this is like exactly the type of thing that person, those people at like the Women's March, like that person with that poster was saying. And it's just like, you're falling, like you're not even a Christian, but you're falling for like this stupid rhetoric that kind of says like, oh, because you're trans, you're not actually a woman. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Honestly, I just want to say, I've had a bit of wine, but I just want to say, fuck transphobia. Like, truly, like, I know a lot of people like to talk about it like it's like it's not that big of a deal type of thing. It is. And just fuck it, y'all, for that, for perpetuating it. Not y'all, the listeners, but like, fuck y'all that perpetuate it, because all trans people want to do is fucking exist and live, and all trans people want to do is be able to walk down the street and not have you harass them and be able to get jobs and have opportunities like the rest of us. And if y'all can't respect that, then you can fucking choke. It's really not that simple. Treat people like with respect, because they're people. Like, that's it. Like, it's not that hard. And it's like, I have zero tolerance for that shit anymore. It's like,
yeah.
Sorry. I get emotional.
Also, I was reading, and then just to like move on really quickly to mention this, I was reading about this group, The Slot, did an article. It's called "The Blue Wave is Galvanized at the NYC Women's March," and it's just talking about this this collective called We Make America, and it's just a collective of people that are working to not just march, once a year, but also to push for getting candidates in seats on goddamn, I'm like, my mind is blanking, but just getting politicians even at the lowest level in the door, and not just politicians that are diverse, but politicians that have our values and that are trying to make sure that we're changing things on every level instead of just waiting for like the presidency or even just the midterm elections, making sure that we're constantly working to like get this blue wave, I guess. I'm not in love with the blue wave or whatever, but I'd rather have it than the red wave. So just wanted to mention it. And yeah, so like, there's a bunch of people who are part of it. There's a painter, Lizzie Bonaventura, sculptor Mary Frank, critic Melissa Rogana, poet Bruce Andrews, and choreographer Sally Silvers. A lot of them were at the Women's March and were speaking up. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to mention it because I think it's important that like we have people that are not just talking about like, well, this sucks and we need to move on, we need to do something about it. Whereas these people are like, here's what we can actually do. Like, here we have politicians, we're pushing them, we're supporting them, like we're making sure that people are aware, like this is what this person's policies are. You know what I mean? And it's like something as simple as like your fucking school council, or you know what I mean? Like, just like at the lowest level, all of these things matter and they're important. So, yeah, just wanted to mention that. Did you guys see that they're extending adolescence they may be extending the adolescence to 25 years old?
What?
Because the way that people are socialized now is different. People are socialized to kind of sort of be younger for longer.
Not my black ass, but okay.
Can you?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So together, they did a survey which included over 8 million 13 and 19-year-olds from varying racial, economic, and regional backgrounds. And they were asked just like a bunch of questions about like alcohol use, sexual activity, like all of that shit. And it sounds like they were just learning like the differences in how things are like shifting. So like 10 years ago, maybe something that was of the norm for teenagers back then is something that's now of the norm for like a 23-year-old. If you were like 16 and this was the norm, now it's like norm for like a 22, 23-year-old. And so basically what they're talking about is because like, and I don't know, I mean, it's probably part of the reason is the economy and the fact that people are just not able to do the adult things and live the adult lives that, someone was able to live like 20 years ago. But yeah.
Right.
So you can actually look at it. It's on thescientificamerican.com. Yeah, it's called Extended Adolescence When 25 is the New 18.
How do you guys feel about extending the adolescence?
Nah.
What is that?
I mean, there was a lot of debate about this. A lot of people were like very much against it, and like people just need to grow up. But a lot of people were like, well, yeah, but like at the same time, like people just are not able to do the things that they were able to do. Like you can't, like it's almost impossible for most people to move out at the age of 18.
Like, if that means that my student loans and shit get pushed back, then sure. But like, otherwise, kids now be giving each other head at like 13 and shit. And I'm not saying that that's okay or whatever. But
a lot of that is not happening as much, actually. Like sexual like activity between. No, I'm saying it's there, but it's always been there. I mean, kids as young as 5 have been doing things since forever. But I'm just saying that.
All I know is I get called bitches by like 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
so,
but what I'm saying is that, like, people are actually extending. Like, people aren't having children as early. People aren't having sex as early anymore, statistically speaking. Like, people are waiting to do the things that maybe, 20 years ago, 13-year-olds were doing this more so than now, where it's like people are waiting until they're, like, 18, 19. And so that's what it means.
I'm wondering, like, what all... I did look over it, but I want to look into it in more detail. But I'm wondering, like, what they're measuring... Because there was, like, a lot of stuff, like, the amount of, like, let's say, like, but, like, let's say, like, the amount of student loans that people have, like, have accrued now compared to, like, 20 years ago. Like, they are going to delay when they buy a house, and they are going to delay, like, when they have a kid and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's, like, financially a stupid idea to have a kid when you have, like, X amount of debt because you went to school.
Yeah.
And I think the article also did say that, like, I don't know, like, again, I want to look at it, but it did say that, like, this extension applied more to people that were, like, wealthier, I guess, and people that were low income were, like, growing up a lot faster, I believe.
Okay, well, I missed that. I read this like 2 days ago, so I have to like go back over it. Y'all know my memory is trash.
But I think it's super complex. Like it really,
definitely, of course.
Yeah, I would say it would vary from person to person because
of course. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's like 16-year-olds that are out there like doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like,
and like there are fucking 20-year-olds with houses already because they had like the foundation and like they have like the funds. So
yeah,
it's
so this person, there's this part where it says this doctor feels that instead of pushing young adults to mature faster, we should embrace the cultural shift and develop ways to both meet the psychological needs of modern teens while also setting them up for future success. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like they're measuring everything. They're measuring mental health issues. They're measuring sex, drugs, like children, like all of the, like, when are they making these decisions? And the fact that people are not, like, the average person is getting married and having kids in their 30s now. They're not doing it in their early 20s anymore. Obviously, people are, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, statistically speaking, fewer people are doing that now. But then the truth is that people in poverty have always had to grow up faster than anyone else anyway. Right. So that's, like, always been the case. Even, like, if you look at, like, especially the way that, like specifically black kids are seen, like, we're obviously always seen as older than we actually are. So. Right. But yes, Ms. Diane Keaton decided to open her goddamn mouth and show her full ass.
Yikes.
She tweeted, "Woody Allen is my friend, and I continue to believe him. It might be of interest to take a look at the 60-minute interview from 1992 and see what you think. Girl, all you had to do was shut up and eat your food. That's all you had to do.
That's
just
really
sit there, shut the fuck up and eat your food." Wasn't nobody even asking you what you thought. I mean, maybe there are people that were asking what you thought, but again, if you had shut the fuck up, nobody would have been like, you know what? I wonder what Diane Keaton is thinking all this.
Right.
I haven't thought about you in years, sis.
Right. Well, I feel like maybe a lot of like older white folks are wondering what she's thinking because like he kind of launched her career with Annie Hall.
It's just like, shut up.
No, it's for sure. Yeah. No, it's like.
Why do people not go ahead?
She wants to go down with the ship, and she can. She can do that.
I think they also come, and this is not an excuse, but I think they also come from a different time of like when like stuff like that wasn't like really taken too seriously. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like I feel like there are a lot of people in Hollywood that are a little older that are like, oh, like these people are victimizing themselves. Like it's not a huge, like this is a much bigger deal than they're making it a much bigger deal than it actually is, because they're so used to it being accepted in the industry. They're so used to it being swept under the rug. So they're just like, I swept it under the rug when I was in it. So like, why don't y'all? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
also, Miss Kate Winslet has decided to finally open her mouth about some things. At the London Critics Circle Film Awards, she said, "I wouldn't be able to stand here this evening and keep to myself some bitter regrets that I have at poor decisions to work with individuals with whom I wish I had not. It has become clear to me that by not saying anything, I might be adding to the anguish of many courageous women and men. Sexual abuse is a crime. While it rests with the rule of law to pass judgment, it lies with all of us to listen to the smallest of voices and to never stop listening. Also, those who do have a voice are becoming afraid to say anything because of intense scrutiny and criticism. Nobody should be exempt from having a right to speak in support of vulnerable people." Girl, just say that.
Vulnerable people?
If you're not going to come out here and say some real shit, then shut the fuck up.
Woody Allen is not fucking vulnerable. She can suck
Girl.
a dick. Like, actually, no, she can't. Dick, sweetie, I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say,
like, dick, girl.
why?
why is that a bad thing?
I'm sorry. It's just habit. Why?
I'm screaming. I'm reading the
Sexual
comments and
assault
somebody
is not
was...
that fucking difficult. Don't fucking touch someone. Don't defend someone who touched someone who didn't have permission. It's not that fucking hard. I don't get it.
I'm reading the comments and somebody was like, "Nah, she's too late. The ship has sailed. Bye, girl." And then it's a gif of Jack on the Titanic waving at the crowd. Like, Miss Girl, you tried it and you failed it. What else we got? Just run through. I just want to say, unfortunately, I kind of low key like Culture 2 from Migos. I'm so tired of the Migos and
Is that the song with the animojis?
The what?
The song
The
for the
song?
Grammy that had like the animojis on it or whatever.
No,
Like,
it's
they're called
albums.
or is that an
Animojis?
album?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't listened
also,
to it.
we're short on time, but let me just mention this. Have you guys ever heard of the porn star Topher DiMaggio?
Oh,
Yes.
mess!
Yeah,
This is
so
a
he
mess.
was accused by another adult film actor named Tegan Zane, and then another guy who
Shut
is like
up.
not. I guess he's not saying his name, or he's going by Dan. They both have
okay.
accused him of like forcibly like raping them. So
Allegedly,
Oh my
let's not get sued.
God.
But yes.
I said they accused him. I didn't say.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
and the details, like when they talked about like the way that he went about it and like what he was saying, like the details all matched up for like all three of them.
Yeah.
So it just like
Mm.
it doesn't leave a lot. I mean, there shouldn't be room for doubt in general,
Yeah.
but like it doesn't leave a lot of room for doubt when you're like he's using the exact same tactics over and over again.
So we'll see how much that actually matters to like the muscle gay community or whatever,
Right.
and the what is it called? Not Amber.
Hoscos?
What is it called? No. Andrew Christian. There we go. We'll see what it means to Andrew Christian and if they'll stop
Same thing.
hiring him.
The answer is no.
I don't know.
The
I actually
answer
don't know
is
'cause
they
I've never
will
seen
keep
it.
hiring him. It's not going to do shit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Kim Kardashian got into some shit because she posted a picture of herself with braids and attributed them to Bo Derek. But she did this a few years ago and got in trouble for it. So I feel like at this point they're just like, I just think they like to piss off black women. I think that's really what it comes down to. They just like to stick little sticks into black women and make them feel like shit and piss them off. So, just stop watching their show, stop following them on Instagram, stop commenting on their shit, and just let them go away. Let the whole clan go.
Oh my God.
Rich Brian, who was formerly known as Rich Chiga, who is a Chinese kid who lived in Indonesia. He grew up in Indonesia. He came out with a song called Dat Stick. And I was actually high-key mad because I listened to it and it's actually like, it's a bop. But he says nigga in like within like 10 seconds of it. Hello? Y'all responses?
I mean,
Gross,
I
disgusting.
mean, blocked. Yeah, like
Been done,
Yeah.
been done before.
That's about it.
Not groundbreaking.
But apparently he's changed his name. He's saying that he regrets coming out as Rich Chiga, which was supposed to be like a play on Chinese nigga. And he regrets saying nigga in his song, and he no longer uses it when he performs the song, and he's changed his name to Brian keep in mind also that this kid was born in like 1999.
Don't care.
So,
he can choke.
I think like it's shit, but I also think like he grew up in Indonesia and he's 18, 19, and I feel like I'm gonna let him. I'm a C because I'm not gonna burn him at the stake. I'm a C because I actually think like he is pretty talented, and if he's willing to like look at his actions and see how like his anti-blackness is like negatively impacting people, and like he didn't have to change it. People loved him. His that stick has like 88 million views. So like people, and he just did a tour, or he has a tour coming up in the US. He just moved to America. People didn't give a fuck. People would have just still fucked with him had he kept
hella non-black folks are like really into him.
So like I feel like the fact that he saw what he was doing, and also the fact that like he has an album coming out. So if he changed his name, that's gonna like that could hurt him financially, just because people are not maybe necessarily gonna recognize his name now that he's Rich Brian.
Yeah, and like of all names, Brian, like that's gonna be your rap name, Brian.
So I'm not saying like, you know,
Brian.
I'm not saying suck the nigga's dick, but you know, I'm not. I'm oh shit! I just dropped my phone. I'm just gonna wait and see. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see. So any last thoughts before we move on?
Nope.
No? No? Anything?
No.
No? Okay. Well, y'all, that was Minutes of Color. And we'll be back with the discourse. Oh, that was like, I tried to do both, and I think I failed at both, but
I think so too.
Because we'll be back. You know what? You can choke, bitch. So
on
we'll
this
be
dick.
back. Dirty ass off. Hello, and welcome to the Discourse.
Oh,
Today we will talk about
Oh.
kink. We will talk about all of the kinks.
All of
Listing,
kinks.
pop play, race play,
Oh.
all of the kinks. No, okay, so seriously. I guess just this will be like kind of an open discussion about kinks of color, of queer people, and like their kinks, and how we kind of like I've even jokingly said like a lot of shit like that's for white people, you know what I mean? And like the way that we kind of like are like if you like anything weird, if you like anything other than like quote unquote normal sex, then like that's very Caucasian or white of you. And so like there's also like that erasure in kink communities of people of color. So I mean, you in the capital of kink, Renee, you want to kick it off?
Not the capital of
capital
kink.
With a K. Capital with a K.
Oh.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
Kink.
Keeping up with the Kink Kardashians. What?
Kink.
I don't.
Should we define what kink is, though?
Sure. Yeah. So I guess
mean,
just anything
'cause
that goes against like.
Well, I'm trying to look it up right now.
People who have kinks. Like, is there a kink that you have? Is there a specific thing that you like that's like not something that's considered a normal part of sex, especially like with the gays? When we talk about anything that's like outside of like hand jobs, blow jobs, anal sex, and like I don't know what else is there. Foot jobs? I mean, foot job could be a kink. Do you like foot jobs?
Well,
I'm not asking y'all if y'all like
I
foot jobs,
can't
but I'm
say
just
that.
saying.
I'm like, do you?
okay, but because like before we
I
get
personally don't.
like too into it, I think it's important to say what it is first because,
Go, John. Do it.
no, but I just wanted to. Well, I'm just looking up the definition, and some of these definitions don't seem, but I guess I'll read a general. It says, kink is generally a fetish that is seen as abnormal to the public, i.e. like bondage, BDSM, public sex, spanking, and...
That sounds right to me.
But see, that's... And so, like, the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, I guess I'll say from personal experience, one time I was talking to someone, they say, oh, I get pretty kinky, is that okay with you? And then they said, well, what to you means kinky? And the guy was like, oh, like, I really like playing with nipples. And I was just like, that's standard to me, but
Right.
I guess for you that's kinky. And so
Right.
like and I'm not like kink shaming or like making fun of the person.
Well,
I
what
just,
does he mean by that? Like, is he talking nipple clamps? Because that is kinky.
Well-
or is he just talking about playing like with his fingers?
right, like with his fingers
Or
and with
tongue.
with his mouth. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, like that's
Singing my life with his word. Let me stop. I'm sorry.
what?
Sorry.
And so I just wanted to like to say what is it, because for some people it can mean something totally different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just mean when we were talking about it. I figured we would talk about specific things.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I guess we could kick it off with so a friend asked me. I had dinner with a friend the other night downtown in what was it, Soho? I don't know. Anyway,
She's
it was
East
somewhere
Coast.
downtown, and we were having dinner, and they asked me like, "What do you think about a black person engaging in slave play?"
Ooh.
Hell no.
And I thought about it, and I was just like, you know what? Like, in theory, like, there's really like nothing particularly wrong with it, because white people engage in slave play all the time with each other. And especially, like, what does that look like if you have two black people doing slave play with each other? You know what I'm saying? Or, like...
Wait, white people
like,
do slave play with each other?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
does it. I
Like
mean, not
like
everybody,
Dom,
but every
like Dom
race.
and sub shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I guess I get how that...
I thought about-
Sorry. I meant like Dom, sub, like master, slave type of play. Like, a lot of races of people are into that. And so, like, should someone not be allowed to partake in that because they're black? And I think that is somewhere... I don't think so. Like, I think that black people... I don't actually think there's anything wrong with slave play. I think, like, Dom sub slave play. I do think there's something weird and very strange about race play.
Right.
But if we're talking about, like, Dom sub, master, son, father, son, whatever, coach, player, I don't know, whatever kind of shit y'all playing with, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. And I think it's, if you're going into, like, especially like with like an interracial relationship, I think it's going to require like a lot of open communication, constant checking in with each other. But I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong or inherently wrong with like a black person wanting to engage in slave play with someone else. You know, I don't know. Y'all thoughts? I mean, obviously, y'all, like,
right?
That's just Rakeem. But
Right. I was like, I can't.
But y'all can talk about like how you feel about like Latinx or like Asian people playing slave play, because I didn't realize how much of a thing it was, but like I fell into a hole. I was like, I got really into like Tumblr porn. Like sometimes I just like I'll watch Tumblr porn, and I fell into this. I got onto this page, and it was like first it was like just Asian guys. And then I clicked on this link to this other guy's page, and it was like this Asian guy who was like a sub for white men, and he wanted to be like their slave.
No.
And he wanted them to be his white master. And it was just a bunch of like,
see, that's where it gets
weird
super complicated. I feel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
That's
but what
I
I'm
was-
saying is, what do y'all think? So, talk so much.
So okay, here's the thing. I think like I'll preface this by saying whatever you want to do in the comfort of your own bedroom, like go off, right? But like I feel like when it comes to like quote like slave and like sub dom play, like I personally, every time I see shit like that, especially like on porn sites, I can't help but think about it in terms of racial like lines, because so if I ever see, because okay, you see it in two kind of ways when it comes to white and black, right? If it's a black person that's like the sub, more times than not, they're going to be called a nigger. Like I've seen it in every single, like literally 100%.
And see, I've seen videos. I mean, well, sorry, go ahead, keep going.
Well, I've seen it in like 100% of the videos that I've seen where like the black person is the sub, like they get called a nigger and like they're okay with it. And like that to me, I'm like, what the fuck? And then if it's the other way around, it's always like, oh, like big black, like, you know, dom or whatever, like dominates like innocent white or something like that. And so it's like, it's a space that I would rather not have.
Innocent white.
But that's the kind of shit that I see. And it's like when I'm watching porn, like, am I trying to think about like racial politics in America? No. But like, is it something that comes up? Yes.
Yeah.
So I know I've been guilty of saying on the show a lot of the times, especially when that pup shit came up, and I'll say it again, like that I don't get it. Like, I'm not going to shit on you for it. Like, do you? But I'm not. Is my black ass gonna walk around a dog park and bark? No. But I said that? Huh?
Oh, I was just gonna say that definitely. But then I think what you're talking about is other people being forced to be involved in the kink. You're not just necessarily talking about a person exhibiting their kink.
Correct. But what I was going to say though is like, do I think that shit is something that is something where I think I've said, and I'm pretty sure I've said it to you guys privately too, like, is that something for white people? Hell yeah. But it's like, I think that's something I need to, and I've said it all the time, I'll kink shame people, and I need to be better at that area for sure, because some stuff to me, I'm just like Martin Luther King did not die for this, like, and it's like, if you expect me to put on a leash,
you're so dumb.
But if you expect me to put on a leash and walk around for a white man like I'm some kind of slave, hell no. Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But like, nobody's expecting you to do it. I mean, some white people might be like, listen,
no, but the
conversation,
I can't wait
to get him in a collar, but that's not what we're talking about today.
But the conversation is like, also, is kink something that's only, like, how do POC approach kink? And I know that I don't have the best view, like the most like progressive view on it, because a lot of stuff to me I don't understand when it comes to, like, because I think when it comes to like pup shit, like, I just associate that stuff with bestiality, and I know that that's like probably not it, but it, like, I can't get on board with anything that has to do with animals. And so, like, when I see that, my first thought is, yeah, that's some white people shit, because who would be the, like, if you heard a news story that said someone fucked a horse, who would you think did it?
But the thing is with that is that it has to, like, kink is supposed to be consensual, I think, and it's hard to...
No, it is. Like, that's the goal.
Right. But John, just because something is consensual to me doesn't mean that it's not, like, what the fuck. Like, if someone said... I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's all I'm saying. I was like, I don't know if the actual like kink community would consider that a kink, because I think for people who respect the kink culture, they would say that's not a consensual act, so we don't want to put that in our box. Do you know what I mean?
But I'm not speaking for the kink community. I'm speaking for myself. Like I'm not.
But I'm saying like that's not a kink. Like, maybe we shouldn't call that a kink.
What? Fucking a horse?
Right.
But to some people it is. Like, when I'm saying like furries and shit like that, like, I'm just saying that I think what you're trying to do is be very specific about like what the definition of a kink is, but I think we kind of get like what we mean. Like, I get, and I appreciate that, but like, if we're defining it as something that's like out of the, I guess, quote, normal, yeah, then that would be something that would be, I don't know. It's a more complicated thing than I thought when we first started talking about it. Mm-hmm. Because on one hand, I know that like if you're doing something consensually with like another adult, then like go off, right? But like, do I have to sit there? I guess the question is, do I have to sit there and quote like be like, okay, like that's Gucci with me? I don't know. Mm-hmm.
But if you're not into it, then don't partake.
I'm not.
But you also don't have to judge other people for being into it, though.
But if someone, okay, go ahead.
And apart from that, like, it's so with like, let's say like, so I make a lot of jokes about how I'm into pup play, and like maybe I shouldn't, because I'm not actually I'm not like opposed to the idea. I just haven't actually partook. But like, let's say like I took some of my friends to like this like kink event not too long ago. And it was for people that were into kink, and specifically it was meant for people of color that were into kink. And it was just like, there wasn't as big of a turnout as I've seen for like events that weren't strictly for POC. And I think a big part of that is because POC you are judged for being into whatever kink. And you are kind of told like, oh, that's for white people. Like, you need to navigate your sexuality in this box. And if you go outside of that, like, like you're going overboard, and that's for white people, and don't do that. but there are like POC that are into that, and like they want to be able to express that freely, and they're doing it with the consent. Well, not always, obviously, but normally I would say they're doing it with the consent of another adult. So it's just like, why would we judge them for that? And like, I think that's a big part of why with a lot of these events, like a lot of POC don't feel comfortable showing up and don't feel comfortable with exploring this other side of their sexuality, because they're told like, don't go outside this box. And if you go outside this box, like that's some white shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just
and like I was
Go ahead.
at this event, and we were like watching this stuff happen, and like even one of the people that I brought with me was like really judgmental of like what was going on, and like out loud, like intentionally. I mean, it was funny, but like I'm sure for the people that were partaking and the people that were enjoying the event did not find it funny. But like my friend out loud was like, "Is this performance art?" Like loud enough for like everyone to hear, and like one of my other. I was dying. One of my other friends was dying, but like at the same time, I was just like, people like POC were there because they're like, they can't go to these white events because they're already ostracized. POC are already ostracized from gay events in general.
Right.
They go to like something like Folsom is a very white event. Like I go, and like most of the time I try to find other POC, not just because I'm more attracted to POC, but because the other white people are not into me. And I'm very ostracized, and I know that that's not my place. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like even in events where like we're like, okay, like we're not part of that, so let's make our own event. Like even there, POC feel uncomfortable because it's just like, wait, this is too much. Like you're doing too much right now. When it's just like we're just trying to enjoy ourselves with adult as adults and consenting. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is it gets complicated because it's just like, okay, we're already not part of the scene in general, and then also when we try to partake, we're judged for it.
Yeah.
So
I just can't deal with shit when it comes to animals. That's my only thing. Like it's just
no one's actually fucking animals in the pup scene though, Rakeem. No one's actually bringing out a dog and being like, oh, like let's go out. Like that's not what.
But they identify as pup.
But go ahead. I'm aware of that, and I'm not saying that people can't like do it or shouldn't do it. The way I've said this before on the show about kink shaming is, and like kinks and all that shit, is this: like, do what you want to do, like whatever. If I feel weird about it, that's not going to stop you from doing your like whatever you like to do. For me personally, when there's any kind of animal anything involved, I personally feel weird about it, because to me that's just like an absolute no, like for me personally. So I'm fully aware that there are not animals coming out, like, and people aren't like fucking dogs and shit, but like when there's animals involved, I'm just like, oh God, like, but that's just for me. Am I going to sit there and like not be friends with someone because they're in the pug community? Like, absolutely not. Like, it's just, I don't want to be, I'll say it like this: I don't want to be accosted with like what you are doing. Like, and so like,
no one is anyone forcing you to like be a part of this? Like, am I ever like, oh my God, come to me to Folsom, like you have to come, like, and
no,
you
I'm
have a
not
choice.
saying you either. I'm just saying in general, like I've had conversations with people where like it's come up and stuff like that, where like I'm like, I don't want to know or hear or see this. And like it just happens. But I think to the point of like, I think your points are right in that like definitely POC are ostracized, and like they don't necessarily probably feel like they can be part of those things, partially because of like the things that I'm saying, sure, and I know I have to work on that, but it's also like maybe this is problematic to say, but I'm not gonna sit and act like, to me, like that's not something that I see every day. So like when I hear stuff that involves with that, like in the animal realm, at least, I'm like, ooh. It's like if someone told me they were into blood play, I'd be like, what? But like, I don't know.
Oh, well, you actually might know someone who is.
Stop, babes. No,
not me. No, not me. I'm just saying. So
I know, but don't.
There's also this thing. I feel like there's also this thing, and I'm finding that this is happening a lot. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without people knowing who I'm specifically talking about. but there's like, because this happens a lot. This isn't just about this one person. This I've seen this a lot, but like, there are things where it's just like, I know people that are into certain things or certain kinks, but they don't want to talk about it because there's shame. There's like shame attached to it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so like,
well, I think what Rakim is saying is he doesn't want you to talk about it to him.
What I'm saying is I don't want you to talk about it to me. Like, talk about
no. And that's but I'm saying in general, there are people that will be like, oh, that's gross. Oh, that's disgusting. But they have their own kinks and their own kinks that they are into. They still don't want to display that to people. Do you know what I'm saying? And so there's this shame attached to sex that I feel like people have, and like, so anything that's kind of veering from the norm is just like like it gives somebody anxiety.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
I
and
think-
like I'm gonna say like, and I'm gonna try to keep this as general as possible because I don't want to like specify who I'm talking about. But like, there was someone that like I was dating that was like, I'm into monogamy. I want to be monogamous. Like, that's what I'm into. And like, that's what I want to do. And I don't want to be open or whatever. And like, but their constant actions were showing me actually otherwise. You don't want to be monogamous. You're just maybe too ashamed to actually say like, I'm actually down to have sex with other people than just you. Or you're maybe too like, you know, it's like too much.
Is that a kink, though?
Yeah, is that a...
I'm not saying it's a kink, but it veers from the norm. It veers from the norm of like what sexuality is supposed to be.
What I want to push back on is the idea that like it's the sex that's the shame part. It's not the sex. It's literally like, if someone tells me like I want to use your blood as lube, I'm gonna be like, what? Like I
no, but what I'm saying is like, yes, there are kinks that you are not into. Like in general, everyone, there are kinks that they're not into, right? There's shit that I'm just like, oh no, like that's not for me. But I'm also not gonna A, judge people, and B, I'm also like, I understand like you're into that kink and I'm into my own kink, and that's cool, and I'm open about that, and like that's not scary for me. For some people, they're just like, oh, don't show me that kink, and then they have their own kinks, but they're like, oh, I don't want to talk about my kink either.
I just think that like, so like, I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I haven't joked about pups and like
no,
furries and whatnot.
neither
I
will
definitely
I.
have, and I probably will again in the future. Just being real, but you know, I think like a lot of what Rakim is talking about is I think a lot of what you're talking about is forcing your kink on people, and like that is definitely something that people do, is they force their kinks on people not consensually. I remember being in Chicago and there was like these guys having a photo shoot in pup masks on leashes in the park in front of kids. Like in full view in front of these kids.
I don't think that's everybody though.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm not generalizing here. We can still talk about people who force their kinks on folks.
Right.
I didn't say that everybody who's kinky. We got to talk about it all. There's people that are kinky.
Right. No, but just sometimes, because I hear this argument too, and sometimes it just sounds like, oh, like, I'm cool with you being gay and stuff, but just like don't do it in front of me. Like it's weird.
But really,
keep it to
like
yourself.
don't do your kink in front of me. Like please, that requires my consent. Don't do your kink shit in front of people without their consent. Don't have public sex. Don't, like, the pup thing. Like, yeah, you should, because that can make people really uncomfortable. And it's not just
the thing is like not. But the thing is like not. I don't know. I just feel like.
It's not. We're not talking about your identity.
Like a lot
here.
of the people that I know that are into kink, they're not forcing it onto people.
Okay, then we're not talking about that.
We're talking about people that are.
Yeah, there are people that do that. We're talking about the people that do. People force their kink on people. It happens. People do things that are uncomfortably involve other people in their kink. They do the whole master sub thing in front of people in public. Okay. I've been at the grocery store and I've literally seen, a man walking around with a woman on a leash.
No.
It's strange. Don't do that at the grocery store, please. Right. I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Like, but this brings up this like thing of just like, okay, don't kiss like another man in front of me.
No, it's not.
Or like don't hold hands.
You're talking about
don't hold hands in front of me because that makes
it
that makes it weird for me.
But they're not the same thing. You can't compare the two. They're not comparable at all.
I mean, for some people it is. For some people it bothers them that like you partake in like kissing is considered like sexual. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm
and for
sorry,
some people that bothers them.
I'm sorry, your kink is not a part of your, like, your kink can be a part of your sexuality, yes, but your kink is not your identity. And you displaying your kink in front of people is not something that you get to decide that you should not be something that you get to decide that you do. Like, I'm not saying that I'm from jump. I'm saying, like, we need to talk about kinks and people need to be able to display their kinks in the way that they see fit. But with the caveat of there being consent of the people around them. You don't get to just be walking around with pets and dogs and humans as pets and dogs.
I think that where the disconnect is here is that I think that there are people that are going to be bothered by this, whether or not you do it in front of them.
No, wait.
Like, whether or not you're doing it in front of somebody, like, there are people that are just going to be bothered by it.
Okay. Are you going to talk?
Oh.
What's that?
Because I'm trying to talk.
Oh, we're both trying to talk. We're having a conversation, boo.
I know, but you talking while I'm talking. You talk over me.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is I've seen these people doing this in public, in front of kids, in front of people that don't want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That is their right. If somebody is walking around participating in a kink, there's nothing. If you are kinky, if you're into slave play, if you're into cats and dogs and what have you, as long as you are two consenting adults, I fully support it. You do not get to involve other people in your kink, without their consent.
Mm-hmm. No, that's real. But what I'm saying is, like, I think a lot of the attitude that is coming, that is basically what this is rooted in, is also just like, I don't want to know that exists, like, at all. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's just kind of an aversion to anything that kind of goes outside the norm.
No, I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe this is where, like, where there's, like, a miscommunication. I'm just saying, like, there's, like, this thing where it's just like, oh, I don't want to hear about that. And, like, or, like, and, like, that's great that you don't want to hear about it, but it's, like, kind of like this thing of just, like,
it shouldn't be that shame attached to it.
Right. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I can agree with that.
And that's the thing.
I agree with Renee.
And listen, we all have our things, whether we want to talk about it in public or not. We all have our fucking things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna judge you for yours, and, like, just don't judge me for mine.
I'll say this. I 50% agree with that, because I feel like if you want to do something in your home, then do whatever again, I agree with Baze. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I do not care. I'm specifically I've talked about things where, like, I've had to when I don't want to. And I'll say this: if you choose to display your kink, whatever that may be, in a public place, or somewhere where people did not consensually ask or agree to deal with it, then you're going to have to deal with the consequences of what that looks like. Yeah. So if you want to go,
I think, Rakeem, I think you were disgusted by, like, some of the stuff anyway, whether it was, like, right in front of you or not, though.
But
for you, like, there's some, like, disgust attached to it in general.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Just because.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is where, like, there's kind of a disconnect. And that's fine. Like, listen, like, live your life. That's fine. Like, you can feel.
I am, because I'm sorry, because at the end of the day, if you want me to sit there and say that I think that everything that every single person, like, I'm allowed to think stuff is weird. I didn't say that you're a bad person for it. I'm allowed to think something is weird and fucking nasty. If you ask me, hey, do you want to eat shit? And I say, no, that's fucking gross. I'm allowed to say that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, yay, let's all eat shit and, like, make out with each other.
But, like, people really do like that shit.
But people do that. And I'm allowed to fucking say that. And I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, my God, yes, like, let's all, like, hold hands and sing Kumbaya and shit mouth, make out with each other. I can say
but no one's asking you to do that.
But I can also say,
you coming up with these elaborate ass scenarios.
But hold on. But I can also say I respect your right to do it. Just because I think something's gross does not mean you can't do it. And that's what the difference is. I can absolutely be disgusted by something, but still respect you. But
I'm just wondering, like, where that shame or disgust is coming from,
because
and also where it's coming from, like, with, like, specifically with people of color. Like, why, if someone's, like, has, like, kind of, like, something that veers from the norm, like, why is that disgusting? And, like, only
not
like
everything. The stuff that I've said that disgusts me is stuff that involves animals and shit and blood. Those are the three things that I've said. The animal reason, I don't think I have to describe why.
Like, let's say, like, something like pup play. Like, that's not you're not actually involving animals. So like, why is that gross?
Because
I'm
to
like,
me,
this is an actual question. Like, I'm not.
I didn't
like,
say it was gross, but to me personally, if it involves
not-
anything that has to deal with animals, for me, I can't do it. So that is what I'm saying personally. Right. I'm never saying that anyone that does pup play is fucking weird. I'm not saying that I think any pup play thing is like disgusting and I should never talk to you again or whatever. What I'm saying for me personally is that I do not want to partake in it because it reminds me of animals. And if I see a pup mask, like, it reminds me of that. So I'm allowed to say that. And I'm not saying that I think anyone that does pup play should be put in jail or have legislation against them or anything like that. All I'm saying is that to me, I don't like it. That's just me. But I'm allowed to say that. And that's what I said.
Okay, well, listen. We not going to agree. We're not going to get like a consensus on this. This is, I think, especially with the time limit that we have. So let's talk race play. Where y'all at on that?
John.
What? Why did you say that?
Why you asking like that? That was so messy.
Why you ask me like that?
I just asked you because you haven't said anything in a minute. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, it came off as messy.
I'm like, wait.
I think. Well, here's the thing. Like, I just think this whole thing it can be complicated.
Yeah.
Race play is a whole nother thing because that changes the context completely.
Should we revisit this then? Should we revisit this? Should this be a
No, we can talk about it.
Okay, well, it got to be quick because we on the time crunch. But okay.
No, I mean, like, well, because here's the thing, like, again, I just don't.
This is one of those things where I'm with Rakeem. I find that weird, and I think that you can't divorce. I think that you cannot divorce your
race.
You cannot divorce your sexuality from like the reality that you live in outside of sex. And so when you like are with your partner and he's like non-black or whatever, specifically I'm talking about black people. I'm not going to speak on Asians and Latinos and non-black Latinos participating in this, but specifically with black gays participating in race play. I think that there is something that you really need to seek help for, and that's not even a joke. I think that you need to go and find a therapist. And I really don't mean that as a joke. I think you really need to evaluate where your mind is at.
Right.
Because I don't think that is something that any self-respecting black person should ever participate in. You have somebody calling you a nigger and you're getting sexual gratification out of that. Right. There is something wrong there. And I don't care what anybody says about respecting shit. That is not okay.
Yeah, I think you said it when you said the self-respect aspect space, because I'm not gonna lie, like I went on, like I grew up with Craigslist days, you know, like I went up, people go out on Craigslist and like look for stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, I get a little disappointed when I see the posts about Asians like asking to be dominated and like, I'll dominate my Asian, I'll be your slave Asian for you and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I get that that's your thing, but I also get a little disheartening because like I can't imagine where that's coming from, but I also don't know if that's coming from anywhere specific. Like I don't know. Like maybe that person just wants to accommodate someone who's like that and like they just want to get off, but also I don't know. I like it's hard because I am not that person, so I can't speak for people who are into that specific kink. Yeah. But as an outsider looking into that, someone into my old culture, it's a little disheartening, you know? Yeah. So, but I mean, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. I want to know where that's from.
I don't know. I feel like that's a completely different realm, though. I think that's like
what is
like let's say like I don't know, like race play. I don't know. I think that's a completely different realm because that's kind of like you internalizing a lot of shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But it's still like said self-respect. Like
I just don't feel like you can divorce it from reality and just be like,
no,
this
you
is
can't.
Just my sexual kink, blah blah blah. I'm gonna participate in it. Now call me a nigger. You just can't do that.
Right?
You just cannot.
No, you can't.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Girl,
my name is Toby.
I also want to. I think
that comes just really quick. I just want to say really quickly. I don't know.
Okay.
I just feel like that personally. I feel like that comes with, and I'm speaking again, just like Latinos and white folks with race. But for me, like when I've seen it, like which I don't think is as popular as like other forms, but it just comes off as just like a lot of self-hate.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like internalized shit like that. For me is a completely different realm.
Really quickly, I also want to mention, I think a lot of these, specifically the leather scene, is sort of out of socioeconomic reach for some folks. It's a very expensive kink to be in, especially if you don't just like want the one harness and the one thing. Like people like a little variety, and I'm not gonna like it's expensive. If anyone, I mean, you guys have been to shops. It's like it's really expensive to be in that scene, and I know specifically for a lot
it's
of
like $60 for like one harness.
Yeah,
it's just like a basic ass harness.
I paid like $50 for a hat, and I'm like, it's a leather hat, you know.
We need to start a GoFundMe for Kink of Color.
Well, now that you mentioned that, I wanted to say if there's any listeners,
like a sort of like a scholarship program.
I want to say if there's any listeners who are into the leather scene but are POC, there is a chapter that addresses that, and they're called Onyx. And every major city has an Onyx
That was
chapter.
The event that I went to.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
And Onyx is pretty cool. One of my friends is an Onyx, and I wish I didn't know why I didn't think about it, but I wish we had an Onyx guest for this episode. But yeah, they pretty much address the whiteness in the leather scene.
We can revisit this.
Onyx is a leather group that's like started by men of color who are into the leather scene. So if you're looking and identify as a man, you can, or masculine presenting, you can join or look into Onyx, and they sort of talk about that too, because the leather scene specifically, it's like overwhelmingly white. It's like very like Tom of Finland, like this certain aesthetic that like a lot of POC can't get into. So there's that, but I specifically for like, you know, people of color, because it's hard. You're right. It's hard to identify, to find ourselves in certain kink culture, and one of them is like really expensive and overwhelmingly white. But I think if you find it, you should like hold on to that and look more into it, because I know that it's available in different cities. Yeah, so there's that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're out of time.
We're long, so yeah.
Any last real quick thoughts? And I know monologues this ain't time for a Viola Davis speech.
I know. No.
Did y'all see the Tom of Finland movie?
No.
Well, okay, I'm just gonna say it really quickly, but like there was one person of color in the movie, and I don't care if I spoil it because it was a horrible movie, but one person of color, one black person.
Cool.
I don't watch movies about white gays.
In like a party scene or whatever, and like the only part that person had was when the police came in to the party, and they were like looking for a thief. They pointed at the black kid.
God damn it!
Like that was like the one, and like it's kind of representative of just like a lot of the kink shit. Like again, you get it on both sides. Like you're not really welcome, and then also you're shamed for it by other people of color. So it's just like it's kind of a very hard thing to be a part of in general.
Yeah.
So
all right, y'all.
Finalizing words. I just think you should be consensual and be safe. That's it.
That's really it.
Yep. All right, y'all. Let's get out of here. Let's move on to male of color. We probably only have room for like one letter.
But that's okay.
But yeah. All right.
Okay.
We'll be back. Kink, 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 kink.
Kink, 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 bye.
Kink, 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 kink,
Kink,
kink.
kink, kink.
Hello, and welcome to Male of Color. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah, so we ran a bit long with the minutes of color. Excuse me. There we go. I got that. So we're gonna only read one letter today, and we were really I was actually really excited to read all the letters because you guys sent out a lot of letters, and they're all very long, very lengthy,
girthy,
very very girthy. Yeah, I was going there you would be me too.
Make sure the letter's uncut.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
so that was
I'm
this
so
week's
I'm
episode
weary.
of POC. You can find us at track.
Oh Lord, dude. Okay, so here we go. So we gonna read this one. Hey. Oh wait. Oh. Okay. Sorry. We're not supposed to read. Sorry. Okay. I read this before, but I was confused about something, and now I'm very clear. We're supposed to read this other part in private, so I'll read this next part. Okay. Cool. I'm ready. I know how to do a podcast.
Yeah, girl. We're waiting on you.
I have a housing dilemma that I would love your input on.
Oh, what dilemma?
I just moved from a housing dilemma.
Okay.
I just moved from LA to Sacramento, and I moved into a house with 2 younger straight guys.
Hell no.
They are 19 and 22 years old. Lord
Ooh.
Jesus.
Hell no.
Which I didn't realize before moving in, and I'm 27.
Oh,
My rental term is month to month, and I'm only paying $500 a month.
wow.
Which is actually not too bad, especially
Good
if
for
you live in
you.
a house. But it's Sacramento, so that might be why. I don't know.
That's probably why.
I had moved twice in 1 month right before coming up to Sacramento, and I just wanted to settle into my surroundings. My 22-year-old roommate owns the house. Real estate is super cheap up here, and he says some pretty problematic shit often. Of course he does. He is Mexican. Oh, okay. I thought he was white, but okay, there you go. He is Mexican and refers to himself as illegal instead of undocumented. Oh, well, girl, like, you can't get mad at him for calling himself what he wants to call himself. Like, instead of undocumented, and he has made fun of his younger brother for being dark-skinned in front of me. Oh, okay, that's weird. I am mixed, but clearly black. Also, after asking him an admittedly inappropriate would you rather question about bottoming, his beliefs about queer people came to light. He kept using the phrase turning gay and reciting other misconceptions about trans people, etc. He chalked it up to him being raised that way and that I should be understanding because I'm the only gay person he's ever known. My question is, should I stay in this living situation so that I can save money and avoid having to move for the 3rd time in 3 months? Or are these deal breakers that warrant an immediate move? I feel like I'm in a position where our interaction will shape how he perceives queer people and black people, but it's also not my job to inform every ignorant person I encounter.
Right.
Sincerely, Titus Andromedon. I love it. Yes, come up with a T. You know what? We love adding a good T to a random word. We love it.
Kink.
You know, one day we were at my apartment back in LA, all of us, and Renee said and we were never the same after that.
Wow, you just told the listeners our inside joke, so thanks.
We just
Whatever.
I'm
solidified
kidding.
as a friend group after that.
Now all of you are
did
part
they
of the
mention? Did they mention why they're in Sacramento? Or can we say that out loud or no?
They did not, but
Okay.
they have something in private that I'll read to you guys afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Us, just the girls, just between us girls.
My short answer is, wait. The question is, should I stay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my short answer is yes. I mean, I know, like, I think we already grew up with problematic people. I mean, our own families say some shit, and like, you have to. When it comes to survival, I'm gonna say yes. Having a roof over your head and saving, like, I don't know if $500 is cheap or expensive to you, but that sounds like a good deal. And if you can't find a better deal than that, then I would say yes. I mean, at least in the meantime, it's month to month. So unless you have a plan B, if you find a better housing situation with more tolerable people, and also I have to factor in, like, can you ignore these people? Can you just, like, not hang out with them? Are they messy?
Can you just go in your room?
Yeah, are they messy? Do they how else do you interact with them other than, you know, the problematic shit? Because if they're problematic, then I would just say ignore them and save your money.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think, like, I mean, obviously, like, if it's, like, wearing down on your mental health, then,
Right.
You know, get out of there. But if you can just, like, distance yourself from them, like, you should definitely not be putting that pressure on yourself to be the representation for, like, black and queer people.
Right.
Like, that is not your place.
It's
and
not
they're
your
gonna think
job.
whatever they think. Because at the end of the day, whether they like you in the end or not, at best, you'll be the exception. You'll be the black that they like and the queer that they like, and all the other queers will just still be who they are.
Yeah.
So unless they're willing to, like, listen and change or whatever, it really doesn't matter. And so I would personally I don't know what that's like to live in the same place with somebody that I don't like, so I can't speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can deal with it, I just would, because it sounds like you have a pretty good deal financially there. So I would just deal with it and just not interact with them, and interact with them as little as possible. Because I know a lot of people that hate their roommates.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And then also too, I mean, when it comes to how he describes himself, like, I mean,
yeah, you can't do.
You can't really say anything about. Yeah, like you can't. The other shit, yes. But when it comes to, like, that's just like someone coming up to me in bays and saying, you can't say nigger. Like, yes, we can. Like, and...
yeah, like, bitch, I wish you would tell me what I could call myself.
Yeah, I would call you all the... I would call you all the fucked up shits about ourselves in front of you for saying that. But I think...
If somebody told me I couldn't say nigger, that would be the only thing I said for the next 5 minutes.
I'd be like, nigga.
Nigga.
Why do police hate niggas? Like, but no, I think you should stay there, especially because $500 is cheap as fuck. And then maybe just look at other options. And honestly, like, I know it's not your job to educate them, but if these are people that you're living with, like, I would maybe try to just have the conversation once, and then if it doesn't go over there, just ignore the fuck out of them. Like, some people I'm okay having the conversation with to try to educate, and if they're not being open to that, then just don't talk to them and try to just be alone as much as you can. But it sucks. But I also get like not feeling at home in your home. So if it's to the point where you just dread going home, then maybe you should look for another place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything else to say.
If you start, I would say, especially though, if you start to feel like there are things that are making you feel unsafe.
Oh yeah.
Then definitely get the fuck out of there. And I would just, if you're already questioning that, like whether or not you should live there, I would maybe just start looking just in case.
Yeah. Agreed. So. Yeah.
Agreed. Have
so
a plan B.
Plan B.
Yeah.
Like John said and Renee said, go for it.
And we wish you the best of luck.
I think that was wonderful advice. And again, we wish you the best of luck. And thank you for writing into us. And thank you for thinking that we would be intelligent enough to give you great advice about this. But yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you, Titus Andromedant. And any announcements? Oh wait, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
So I was writing a scene in my book, and like I've been on chapter 6 for like a month. It's really horrible. But anyway, I've been writing a scene in my book, and I had to go back and read chapter 4 because I couldn't remember if I had my two main characters have a conversation about a specific thing before. And so I went back to read it, and I was like, oh bitch, like I almost like started crying because I was like, oh wait, this actually like looks like something, because I'm at this point just writing just to get it all out. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna have Mark read this, because I've been too afraid to have him read anything, because I'm just like, he's gonna think it's incoherent garbage, like he's not gonna be able to pick anything out of this. And like I sat there and like listened to him as he dragged me, and like he ended up being like, wait, but this is actually like sort of good. And I was just gagged. And then he like he has a friend who's like an editor, and he's like gagging about it to her and like telling her about it, and she was like, I'm gonna steal your laptop if you don't like let me listen, if you don't let me read it. And I'm just like just the fact that like people like the fact that a person who is like established would even want to read my book, and just the fact that like someone thinks that there's something tangible, like something like that could be like built into something. Clearly it needs work, but I just was really excited because it was like, I just, for the first time, I felt like valid in like my writing.
You're valid.
I've never felt valid about it. Like I've always felt like I don't like to write and show people my writing because I'm like, it's garbage. But
oh my god, same.
Anyway, yeah, that like really made my weekend, and so I just wanted to mention that because it was just like really good. And like, bitch, when I finish that book, bitch, y'all gonna hear all the motherfucking about it.
It's over for y'all.
To say about it. It's over for y'all, bitches.
It's over for us too. So, thank you guys for listening to this episode of Podcast of Color. You can find us again at Twitter on Trash of Color, everywhere else at Podcast of Color. And with that, we will see y'all next week.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and hit us on YouTube. Give us those views, sister girls, and all of that. Love and support all the way.
All right, one love. Okay.
King.
You have to put it up to the mic, John.
Oh.
There you go.
Kink, shablam.
Shablam. 5.